heal the world, make this a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, but if you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hello everybody, I'm Lady Cheryl and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to bring to you part 2 of my end of May food forest tour. Now, yesterday I showed you half of the food forest in part 1, and today I'm going to share part 2. Okay, let's get started. Here is my tea garden. It's in a brick or cement blocks raised garden bed, and there is my Texas star hibiscus. And it's getting ready to put on flowers. How do you know, Miss Cheryl? Right there. Let me get closer out of the sun. Get these leaves out of the way. And you can see them. They're getting ready to flower. Texas star hibiscus, and any hibiscus, is in the same family of okra and marijuana plants. The mint is very invasive. I don't care, because I drink a lot of mint and I use a lot of mint around my food forest because mice and rats don't like the smell of it. So I drop it behind my rain barrels. I drop it around the perimeter of the yard, but I am gonna edge it out right in here so I can have a good walkway path. Right before this pile of wood chips that I'm gonna spread is a Yates persimmon. This is the second year. I think grasshoppers are eating the leaves. Again, I'm not worried about it. It's not producing any fruit right now. So I'm not going to worry about any insect damage. As long as it's nothing serious, I'll just let that go. Now I'm going to take you around to the front of the food forest and show you the roses. We just got too much rain, but they're coming back. You can see those little red leaves on the rose bushes. They'll be fine soon. I just let them dry completely out. Okay, now right here is what I am just so happy about. This is the emergency garden. Now, all of the tomato plants that were in the greenhouse I grew from seeds, and the ones in that bed over there I grew from seed. But these 4 plants I bought specifically for the emergency garden, and they are not showing any damage whatsoever. Some of the tomatoes are huge. The marigolds, as you can see, are vibrant and doing well. I'm just really excited to see the zinnias and the purple flowers on the society garlic. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, marigolds repel a lot of insects as well as society garlic. And here are my cucumbers. I haven't really looked in here yet to see if there are any cucumbers here. Again, I bought these seedlings. Well, I grew the Armenian cucumbers myself, the seeds, and I bought the straight 8 cucumbers to give away. Now I'm going to go on the other side of this raised bed. The cucumbers right here are going crazy, and I'm going to let them. The tomatoes are just doing awesome. They're getting big. This has a little blush to it. It's going to ripen very soon. I probably can tie this tomato plant up. I'm very excited about this garden bed. Not a lot of damage. This bed, however, let me start with the worst part. I was getting ready to pull up this plant. Something told me, no, don't do it. Wait a little bit longer and let the tomatoes get a little bit bigger and riper. And I'm beginning to see that it's putting on new flowers. That one's dead, but that's alive, and that's alive. So if it makes a tomato in the next couple of days, because this week we're getting back up to the 90s. And if that is the case, then the flowers won't mature and turn into tomatoes. But as soon as we start getting into the 90s, and if I can't stop this yellowing by allowing the beds to dry out, because I haven't watered them at all, then I'll leave the plants. Now, this plant right here is doing wonderful. It has some really nice sized tomato. Now, I think I can get in here now. See how big that is? That's heavy. It's a nice tomato. I'll walk around to the other side of the bed. I thought I'd show you these two large tomatoes on that plant. And now I'm gonna go over in here and show you what I think is a twin. Yep. Look at all the tomatoes from the yellowing plant that I was showing you. That's why I didn't have a heart to just pull it up. This one right here, trying not to step into the bed. This one, see the yellow blush? This one, whoops, hold on. And those two right there, those will be ready in a couple of days. Okay, guys, okay. Here are my green beans. They are doing magnificently well. I can actually cook some today. I harvested some the other day, and by them being so tender, I just steamed them a little bit and put them in my salad. So, I will do the same thing today. Let me just take a few of these off while I'm here. I like green beans when they're tender. Would you believe that I only paid 2 cents for these seeds a few years ago at either Family Dollar or Dollar General? I sure did. When the season is over. There were no seeds this year because everybody wants to learn how to garden, and I don't blame them. And that's why I'm doing this series, so I can show people how you can do it cheaply. But when this pandemic is over and you get an opportunity to buy seeds on sale, buy them. Buy them and put them in your freezer. This is enough for a meal for me today. There's some that haven't been down here, but there's some right here. This is going to be so good today. Some of them are too big. See that? Okay, so I'll add those to these, and I got a little side dish going. And get my 2 strawberries, and I'll harvest some of this rainbow Swiss chard that was a volunteer. And I'll stir fry it with my green beans, and I'm just picking the big leaves. You can hear that crunch. They're real tender. And they should do well, because I've grown Swiss chard all year long if I shaded them. So because this is being shaded by this magnolia tree, these green beans on this side, and the large gala apple tree up there, this will last me all year. Yep. You can see that my lettuce, my butter crunch lettuce, is going to seed, is bolting. And you can, let me show you. Right here are the seeds. See that? I'm going to put a organza bag over these seeds, these seed pods. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And then I won't have to buy them again next year. The same thing with these zinnias. I will put organza bags over them and collect the seeds. Okay. Here are some cherry radishes for the emergency garden. Over here we have squash. And this is where I'm, right in here is where I move some and put them into grow boxes. Some more black-eyed peas over there. More radishes. And this is white hailstone radish. Okay. here. And this is my shampoo ginger. And my turmeric hasn't come up yet. And if I can't get it to come up within another week, I'll buy some more rhizomes. And if I can't get anything to come up within the next week, I'll buy some more rhizomes. Here's some more compost tea. And there's some over here. I really gotta get this stuff cleaned up. Oh, by the way, here are the last 2 fruit trees I bought, and I can tell you what's growing right here because I remember them. It was in my gardening journey. That soil that I put on the side of the house, that compost. These are ground cherries. My grandchildren don't like them. I really don't care for them either. I have some I made into a jelly, and they don't like it. I don't like it, so I'm not going to try to save these. I'll scrape them off, and I'm going to put these 2 trees in this large container, and there's some dill, and that's it. I showed you guys these 3 sweet potato containers, and I showed you how some of the bush green beans have come up in this container and a little bit in this container, and I showed you some little raised portions of the soil in this one. So I want you to know this morning I noticed 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably one's going to come up right here, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we're going to have bush beans to give away as well. Okay, and here are the beets. I'm going to pull up 2 because I'm going to saute these 2 right here with my lunch. So there's one, and they are real sweet. And it's not enough for me to roast. So I will saute this up, the leaves with the Swiss chard, and then I may just dice these up or chop them up and saute them too. Okay, so now let's talk about this plant over here. I've shown you it before. I just want to share that it's doing real good. This is a container grown celebrity tomato. I named this one Andre after my youngest son. These will be the tomatoes for his family, and he'll get some of those other ones. So this is my harvest. I'm going to go back and get some butter crunch lettuce. I have some ripe tomatoes in the house. I will saute those green beans, Swiss chard, and the golden beetroots. And then I'll make me a salad, and I'll dice up my strawberries and tomatoes and mix it with my butter crunch lettuce. And here is another tree, pecan tree, that I'm going to pot up today. Man, I tell you, I have so much to do. Here, and this is my shampoo ginger, and my turmeric hasn't come up yet. And if I can't get anything to come up within the next week, I'll buy some more rhizomes. And there's my Aunt Laura's cold hardy hibiscus. This is a leaf jujube. I only paid $5 for it. It's about 8 feet tall. The guy that I bought it from said it grows wild in Texas and it doesn't need a pollinator. We'll see. If I need one, I'll get one later. Here is another elderberry bush. Yep, $5 bush. Here is a cherry tree growing in a container, doing absolutely well. Here are aronie berries. Insects bothering them, but they're not eating the berries. Let me see if I can show you the berries. There we go. And here is goji berries. This is a volunteer. My grandkids probably were eating them along here. Here is that other brown turkey fig tree that I told you guys died all the way back, but it came back. Here is another elderberry bush. It was just a stick. And let me move this down. Let me go on this side so you can see the beautiful flowers. And they're beginning to change. See those? Those will be elderberry. This is the cherry tree that I transplanted, and I told you guys, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And it's doing fine. Here is another cherry tree. This is my Rainier. It's doing very well. I'm hoping to get fruit next year because it flowered, but it didn't produce any cherries. But you can look at this tree and see how big it is. I'm thinking next year we'll get fruit. These are apple trees. They're doing well. We got a lot of apples. This is the one that was infested with aphids, and the aphid infestation is gone. This is another apple tree over here. Got nice apples. I'm tired of trying to remember all the names because I have 7 apple trees. This one is, I know, is a Kiefer pear, and we're going to get fruit for the first time. Actually, the second time. And this is another apple tree, and you can see a lot of fruit here all over this tree. Yesterday I counted 25, but I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch because I know anything can happen. Squirrels can eat them, the fruit can fall off, what have you. And there's 4 right here, 5, 6, and that's the apple tree over there. And these are the green Thompson grapes that I told you that I tried to kill, and I didn't dig them up, and I just said I'm gonna let them sprawl and do whatever they want to do because they didn't produce any fruit for 2 years. It kept getting a fungus. Now we got more rain this year than we've had in the last few years, and it didn't get any fungus. Isn't that crazy? Maybe because I just let them grow on the ground. Here's my other persimmon tree. Very excited about it. It has 25 pieces of fruit or more on it. It has dropped a lot of fruit, but I'm not worried about it. Last year we got 6 pieces for the second year, so I'm anticipating getting more fruit. I just love the shape of this tree. It's just so totally cool. It's just totally awesome how it produces the fruit. Let me step back and show you the pomegranate tree again, how it's doing. It's got fruit. A lot of them fell off. Here are my pawpaw trees. I have 3 of them. I think I might have spider mite because I have crunchy leaves that are curling. I noticed that yesterday when I was watering them. And this one is fine. And this pawpaw tree is fine. And I better start talking fast because my battery's going down. And then I have an apple tree here. And I have, I believe this is a plum tree in the ground. It is. And then I have Metme plum right over here. And way over there where the corn is, right over there, that's a Metme plum. But all of these trees right here in this area, right here, these will all be moved, the ones that are in containers. There's only one tree I'm going to let stay, of course. It's the one in the ground. This is the Gala apple tree. This is the one that I have the Christmas tree, old-fashioned decoration lights in here because this tree starts blooming in January like it's crazy. But we had a mild winter, but every year it does it blooms early, usually in February, but this year did it in January. And you can see we have some apples. Some of them I've been picking off because they were just too malformed because they got frost damage, but I still left a nice amount on there. So we have a lot of coneflowers, which are echinacea. I only had 2 small plants that I had grew from seeds, and I'm telling you, I didn't collect the seeds. I said, I'm gonna just let this bed be covered up with these things, and I am so happy that I did. And let me give you an example of those apples when I say they're malformed and have frost damage. I left some of them on, but the majority of them I took off. After I saw that my younger trees were doing well, I'm still holding these beets, guys. After I saw my younger apple trees were doing well and producing, I just started taking some of these off. But I can use some of these apples for apple cider. Okay, let's go over here. This is Mexican petunia. I told you I let it grow wild. I'm gonna start back here. Let me show you the corn that I sowed the seeds directly into the ground. It's coming up. Here's a pecan tree. Volunteer that I found. Here is milkweed. I planted this for last year for the monarch butterfly, and it just self-seeded. Here's the borage that I told you guys that I have some growing on the other side of the food forest. They have to move one of the sugar baby watermelons. I think it's getting smothered out from the country. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to pull it up because I didn't expect all of them to make it anyway. So that's a nice amount right there. And then here's some more echinacea that's self-seeded. And I'll step over this borage. And then I forgot I wanted to show you something with the comfrey fertilizer. A couple weeks ago, I took my saw and just mowed down this comfrey. Can you see how those leaves have come back already, guys? And you know I mowed it down low. Check my video. See the bees pollinating it? Yeah. What I did was I packed it really tight in these 5-gallon buckets. I had to buy some new ones because I needed some without holes. And you see that? And you see insects there? It doesn't bother me. I will put on gloves, move this out, drop it in front of a fruit tree, and then strain the liquid, and I will make liquid comfrey. This is the best fertilizer for every plant that you have in your food forest. Now all I got to show you guys is the muscadines and the grapes. Muscadines are forming. See the little grapes? They won't be available to harvest or won't be ready until August. This is what they look like. And I mean, this whole area is loaded. The squirrels and the birds can get the ones on the top. Me and my grandbabies are going to have the ones on the bottom. And this is all from 2 vines that I bought 2 years ago from Ison's Nursery online, and the type of muscadines are called Noble. Now here are my grapes. They are looking good. I'm going to sit down and let you see them. And some of the leaves are doing a little bad, a little too much rain, but that's okay. And the grapes are not as big as they were last year. Probably because I didn't fertilize them. I was eating one. It is very tasty. A lot of nice grapes. Next year I'm going to be on top of that comfrey fertilizer. I'm a little late doing it this year. But I'm going to be on top of the comfrey fertilizer, and I will give them some once a month. See, I haven't given them any fertilizer yet, and I made a mistake because no one's perfect. This is just my 2nd year with some grapes. I thought I had a longer time for them to continue to develop, but now it's indicating to me that I waited a little too late because they're already beginning to ripen. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll be on it next year. And plus, every year that you have your bushes, trees, and vines to produce fruit, the fruit gets larger. So who knows, maybe this is how large they're supposed to be, because the wood chips down there really give them a lot of nourishment. So I'm sitting under this arbor. I have 2 of them, and I have 3 plants, and look like the plants, the grapes over there are a little larger than the ones over here. Who knows? But I have a lot of grapes, guys. I'm just showing you from one plant. Now I'm going to get up and come over here and show you the grapes over here. That's a lot. If I can get some jelly, some of the grapes are getting bigger. Bigger right here. Actually, these grapes on this side are bigger than the ones that I first showed you. These 2 vines. See that? So, I'm happy. Anyway, this concludes this video. I hope I shared something that you like, something you can use. My children thought I was nuts when I started smothering out my backyard grass because it was so pretty, and started putting cardboard down. But I am so glad because I just had this dream of having a food forest. and having a permaculture food forest where the wood chips would fertilize all of the fruit trees, bushes, and plants. So I'm very thankful. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule this morning to be with me today. We started before the sun came up. And now this concludes this video. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to watch it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and tell your friends about my channel. God loves you and I love you too. Thank you for watching. Bye now. The end.